What's in your mind for you and for I'm trying to decide from the look in your eyes, yeah. I mean besides, but your feelings inside you, I'm messing up my mind.
Episode 15. Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on, Ryan?
What's up, man?
Everybody listening, how you doing? We're back here, episode 15. It's a little cold in SoCal. There's been fires. It's been cold AF. Mm-hmm. It's been weird.
I like that fall weather, though.
I do, too.
I feel like there's a vibe to it that just makes you feel better.
Ryan has a skeleton in here with like an ape skull. Like this fool's looking like a freaking Neanderthal skeleton sitting back there. If I remember, I'll splice it into the video.
Hey, by the way, they like that Office take that you did like 2 episodes ago.
Who is they?
The listeners.
Hey, the listeners.
I did a poll on my Instagram, and they were dying at the gabagool.
The gabagool?
The gabagool
hey, the
take.
Gabagool. Hey, I love that. That's sick. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Inside the RV. This is a podcast about entrepreneurship, business, work ethic, self-development, self-improvement, becoming the best version of yourself. I am your host, Jacob Moore, along here with your other host,
Ryan Ramirez.
And we are an artist manager. I'm the artist manager. Ryan is the artist. We're a duo, upcoming, independent, unsigned, trying to make it out here in the music industry, man. This is like when you watch VH1 and it's like the guys are like playing for pennies on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And then they wake up and there's like 20 grand in their bank account because the single like overnight
yeah, exactly.
skyrocketed, catapulted. No, man, but yeah, we appreciate you guys listening. To everyone who's been following along since the beginning and shit, that is just like awesome. I think we do have a couple of like dedicated listeners who have listened to every episode, which is cool.
Some diehards.
some I don't know. We need to think of a cool name. Like your fan base is the Riders. Like what would the Inside the RV people be?
The Insiders.
The Insiders. That was sweet. You're getting a raise. We don't even get paid for this. It's like
we're losing money. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Hey, you get guac next time I buy Chipotle, homie. Yeah, that's the raise. So this episode, I want to talk about something that I experience all the time and is really hard for me. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people deal with it. I think today with how politics are, whatever, how the state of the world is, everything, how social media impacts people. Mm-hmm. I want to talk about controlling your emotions. Okay. And this is going to be a subject where I can already tell a bunch of people are going to, sit down and say, if you feel angry, then you go ahead and feel angry. Mm-hmm. You be as angry as you want. You don't have to control it at all.
Yeah.
Now, people, you might be listening thinking that's bullshit, but I have interacted with people who think that it is okay to uncontrollably allow your emotions to come out and to guide you. Mm-hmm. Which I think is completely irrational. I think it's unreasonable. I think it's stupid to be completely guided by your emotions. Your emotions blind you. Yeah. And as a young adult and a person who, I'm thankful to say I think I've gotten better at controlling my emotions. Yeah. I just want to talk about that kind of stuff because me and Ryan feel all types of emotions in this crazy ass industry. I felt mad, sad, happy, all types of shit, depressed.
It's a roller coaster for sure.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster. I mean, You told me like months ago how there was a time where you were crying on the floor of this RV.
Yeah, 100%.
What was that about? What's the deal?
So this was actually before you introduced me to like the Power List, the Andy Frisella podcast, and all that. All those podcasts and everything. Before I started reading books and everything, I just felt like hopeless because I felt like there's no way I'm gonna be able to become a big artist because I don't have the resources, I don't have the money, I don't have a big team, I don't have. At that time, I wasn't confident in my skills and my abilities. Maybe just the writing, but like that was about it. How I looked, I wasn't confident. Like literally everything that I've become more confident in now, I was not at the time. Mm-hmm. And so I felt hopeless. I was like, all these people are so ahead of me. How am I gonna do this? Like how what I'm saying? Like I didn't have a breakdown on my day for that, and so it was overwhelming. Yeah. But I knew deep inside like this is what I wanted. So I think I was just like. I was like praying for a change, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much.
So you experienced some insane emotions.
Oh, dude. Oh, my God. Even when I lived in LA, just the depression I felt and everything and just like the ups and downs and oh, my gosh. But I think the past like year, I found like a stability that's at least more manageable and I'm able to grow instead of just like, like you said, allowing emotions to dictate like my journey and what happens to me and everything. Like I feel like I got a better stronghold about like where I'm going. Yeah. So I'm sure you're like that too now.
Yeah, and
or
you'd
better.
say that you're ultimately just more in control of your emotions.
Yes.
Yes. Same here.
Okay.
Same here. And the reason I brought that up is not because I'm saying like you didn't control your emotions when you were crying on the floor. Hey, if you need to cry on the floor, that's okay. And a lot of people deal with that, and you should express that.
Yeah.
But I think there are positive ways to express negative emotions, and I think there are negative ways to express positive emotions because I think it can get a little bit misconstrued in the conversation of talking about how you express your emotions, that all good emotions are outwardly expressed in a good way and lead to good things. But I don't think that's true. And I think that you need to have control over all of your emotions, because regardless of whether it's a positive or a negative emotion or whatever connotation it has, it will inhibit your ability to think rationally, realistically, and in the most detailed way possible.
Yeah.
And that's something that I want to get into. So let's talk about it. So hey, if you're on your lunch break or whatever, you're sipping your Starbucks, your PSL in the parking lot or whatever, and you want to cry a little bit, hey baby, we're here. Cry. Listen to this episode. Let's talk.
And this is a great topic for especially people in our shoes too, who are working in the arts industry.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, yes, in business you got to be more logical, shut off your emotions and everything. But when you're dealing with art, you gotta still implement that part of it and like trust your gut on certain things. Like, you know what I'm saying, with songs or videos or anything like that. So it's interesting that we're talking about it. You know what I mean?
Totally. Yeah. No, I think that does make it interesting because your music is just a sonic expression of your emotions.
Yeah, because if we were starting like a company, you know what I'm saying, like an Amazon or something, then we would probably just be like, yeah, you need to shut off your emotions and make deals based on logic, and that's it. For the most part. But now we're dealing with art, and it's like there's emotion and like soul into it. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Well, as always, guys, I moved into the 21st century, got the laptop here. Let's talk about this little agenda I made. Okay, listen, control your emotions before they control you. Okay? I think that's a very powerful statement because I think that that's exactly what does happen. If you don't control your emotions, they control you. I think the most crucial ability that you can have, I think every action is driven by some sort of emotion. So just as a general statement, the most crucial ability that you can have is the ability to control yourself. It doesn't matter if you're at a party, a social event, at home by yourself, whatever it is, you need to be able to control yourself. If you can't control your emotions, you can't control yourself because your actions are predicated on your emotions. People aren't going to like this topic, okay?
It's tough.
It's a tough thing to talk about, but I love Gen Z and millennials and the whole like focus on emotions and mental health and shit, like in our generation and on social media. I think that's dope. I think that's dope because you talk to anybody, like my dad's a real like old school, like blue collar white guy. Real prideful in what he does, and that's like how I was raised and stuff too. So a lot of times like it's taboo or weird to like express emotions and stuff, or it makes you a fucking pussy. Not that my dad ever thought that, but I'm just saying like in some cultures, or even like I got friends who got like old school immigrant parents, and it's like for like they don't want, there's pride in their culture and they don't want to like talk about emotions. So maybe the old school folks can't get it, but I'm glad that like if you're an old school folk who's listening or whatever, or just I'm just putting that statement out there. Like, Ryan and I are cool talking about it. If you don't like it, then shut off the fucking radio or the podcast and you don't have to listen. But, it's tough shit, man. It's the truth. I think to function as a successful adult in this world, you really need to be able to control your emotions. You really need to be able to talk about it. You got to be able to control when you're mad, sad, happy, whatever. That doesn't mean that you can't show emotion. I encourage people to show emotions. Like we said, like Ryan's product, quote unquote, what the man would call it or whatever, or what your creations are a sonic expression of emotion.
Yes.
And that's amazing. Yeah. That's an amazing thing. And you can invoke that in another person, or someone could listen to it and be like, oh my God, this is the emotion I always feel. Ryan's putting that shit out there on the record. He's putting it on wax.
I feel
you know what I'm saying? And so I think it's dope to show emotion. I think it connects people, and I think it's dope to talk about it. I think that passion is driven by emotion. Passion is simply just intense enthusiasm, and also enthusiasm, I think at a foundational level, is just pure happiness and excitement, right? So passion is driven by emotion. I love passionate people. Ryan's a passionate guy. I'm a passionate dude. You talk to me about Metallica, I'm like, I will tell you every album. You know what I'm saying? No, but you need to be able to control your emotions. Like why? Well, why should you control your emotions? Here's why. And I know that Ryan's got some good shit to say about this, because your emotions and thoughts are powerful as fuck.
Yeah.
Your emotions and the way that you feel can be the difference between you having a great day or a horrible day.
Mm-hmm.
Just how you feel.
Yeah.
Just those thoughts in your head, which are driven by how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily know, and we can get into this, if your thoughts drive your emotions or your emotions drive your thoughts. I want to say you feel a way, and it kind of warps your thought process.
Yeah.
Would you say that?
Yeah, and I think your mood is like all your emotions combined in a way, right?
Yes.
So I think your mood is like exactly what I just said. All the thoughts and emotions that you're having, if you take the majority of those, that's your mood. So I think that thoughts invoke emotion. So I think that the way you look at a situation, you could change your emotion based on the way your perspective is on that thing. And so somewhere I really learned a lot of this from is Tony Robbins. He's really good at this kind of stuff. He's like so good that I don't even think he's ever sad or like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's just so good at this. But like the main thing that he always talks about is like you are in control of your thoughts and the way you see things, and therefore you're in control of your emotions. Wow. But he always says too, like, you know, we're humans and you're not gonna be perfect.
Yeah.
It's not like you learn that and just like that I can control everything that I'm feeling and everything. But I think that it's always like just getting on the way to getting better. You know what I'm saying? Like just knowing like, okay, I can change this and I can change my emotion. At least knowing that and being aware, you can make like a big change in your life.
Wow.
Going in that direction. You know what I mean?
So let me back up what I said then. It's not like one or the other. It's not that your emotions drive your thoughts or your thoughts drive your emotions. It just depends, I think. Okay. I think you can wake up one day and be in a good mood and start thinking about some weird stuff, and that can drive some negative emotion. At the same time, maybe you wake up and you don't know why, but you feel a weird emotion. I feel like that in the fall. Like, I love the fall, but sometimes I wake up, I look out my window, and like I'm in an early 2000s indie rock like music video.
Yeah.
And I'm like wondering where my ex-girlfriend went and stuff. Yeah. No, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, and so that random like negative emotion and that's not to say that feeling bad or feeling sad or angry is a negative thing. I'm just using negative and positive to like define the two extremes or the two categories that we can put emotions in. So
and the negative and positive thing you're saying too, I think that you're always attracting like. So if you're feeling good about something, the more you feel good about it, the more you're attracting other good stuff and other good thoughts and other good emotions, and it just compounds. Yeah. But the same thing with the negative. If you're focusing on something negative and you're feeling bad about it, and now you're attracting more bad stuff, and then if you let it happen long enough, it'll just keep compounding, and then you have a shitty day.
True.
So it's like it's all a combination of like attracting those kind of thoughts. You know what I mean?
Well, the bottom line is that people are going to feel great and they're going to feel horrible.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's totally normal. And going back to what I said, you need to be able to control your emotions because they are so damn powerful, guys. You don't understand. Like, Ryan is so successful not only as an artist. And hey, you could say he has 2,800 followers or whatever. You can say that he doesn't have a record deal or 1 million followers on Spotify or whatever it is. But I've watched this guy develop into like one of the most confident people I've ever known. And he will outwork artists that I've met who have 1 million streams.
Bro, I appreciate that.
This guy will outwork, out-confident, out-everything people that I've met. And I've met artists who are quote unquote bigger than you, and I can just tell from their work ethic and all that stuff that you're miles ahead of them in terms of your ability to sustain and have longevity. And that's because you're gonna cry.
No, first of all, I just want to say, like, dude, I really appreciate that a lot, man.
Of course.
I think I have like such a long way to go. Yeah. And I never want to get satisfied, like we always talk about. Yeah. But just to hear that, you know, like, feels good. So thank you.
And he's modest. God damn it, he's humble too. Come on, come on. No, but yeah. So, that work ethic, that ability, his positive mindset, him pushing me. Sometimes I get intimidated by this fool. Like, you intimidate
vice versa,
me
sometimes too.
I know we've talked about that. Like, sometimes I intimidate you, you intimidate me, and that's why we're a good team. We bring each other up. But his ability to just like keep on trucking, to achieve success, to become a better person in all aspects is driven by this passion, by this emotion that he has when he wakes up in the morning, right?
Yeah.
So that just goes to show that this guy is living proof that an intense emotion can totally change your life. But that's why you have to be in control of it.
Yeah.
Because if it controls you, it could be such an intensely negative emotion that it could put you in the shitter.
That just reminds me of that one quote that is so cliche, where people say, just whatever you put your mind to, you can achieve.
Yes.
But yes, it's cliche and we hear it all the time, but it's literally like so scary true. Yeah. Like if your mind is like, if you every day you're just thinking about one thing, you're going to end up getting it. Like your subconscious just like drives you into getting it, and it's going to drive you into working towards it, showing you all the right resources, the right people, etc. So I feel like your mind just like that quote's just so crazy. Yeah. But I think all cliches, they stem from the truth, right? That's why they're cliches. So yeah.
I agree. So emotions are really powerful, and when you harness that power, you can use it for good, like Ryan is doing. And it's not like a completely up and to the right graph. Like if you zoom in on this guy's journey, it's ups and downs and ups and downs. But if you zoom out on the graph, it's consistently up and to the right. And that's how I like to look at things too. Like when I'm evaluating how well I've done on a macro scale, word to Gary V on that terminology.
Yeah.
You know, I try to zoom out on the graph, and even though there's a lot of ups and downs like zoomed in per unit, when you zoom out, the graph is increasing in a positive direction. So I think that's cool. So you can use that power for good, or you let that shit run rampant, and it could negatively affect not only you, but almost worse, other people, those around you that you really love. So I just think that feelings of anger, happiness, whatever it is, unchecked, uncontrolled, are going to lead you to make quick decisions that aren't well thought out. That is called irrational decision making. What does irrational mean? Irrational means illogical or unreasonable. There's no reason behind it, or it's not entirely based on reason. And I think a lot of times you should trust your intuition and you should trust your emotion, but I think that solely leaving a decision to your emotional state of being leads you to make a decision that has no reason or logic behind it, and thus you could make a decision you think is right, but it could be completely detrimental to you. Okay? So, and this comes from positive and negative emotions too. This is one thing I wanted to touch on. For the most part, I think like anger, sadness, jealousy, despair, envy, like all that stuff, like negative emotions, more of this conversation kind of leans towards those emotions negatively impacting you and like your decision making and not having control. I don't think it's as detrimental to have like happy emotions or good emotions and to make decisions, because a lot of times you mean well. Yeah, you mean well when you're in like a good emotional state. But
I was gonna say there's a quote I heard. I think I don't know if I saw Eric Bellinger tweet this one time. I don't know if it was his quote or whatever, but it was something like, "Don't make decisions when you're upset, but don't make promises when you're happy."
Damn.
So basically what that means is like you're best off making all decisions and promises like when you're just at a neutral level. Yeah. Because I mean, I do that all the time. I overpromise when I'm feeling good. I'm like, "Oh, I could kill it. I could do it. I can deliver this to you by tomorrow." Yep. You know, shit like that. So it goes both ways.
Literally what I was about to say.
Okay.
That's it. No, you killed it. Okay. Like I don't even have to say it.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's just that's it. So you basically like, let me continue on that. If you're so happy and so stoked on an idea and your emotion makes you so stoked, you might not even realize that there could be like a better idea on the table. Oh, okay. It's like, I remember being at work meetings and my boss would be like, "Who's got an idea for this, and that?" And I'm so happy for my idea, so stoked, whatever, that I'm like, no, let's do this, whatever. And I mean well, or the person next to me is doing the same thing, they mean well, but we're so clouded by our emotions that like, hey, the girl next to me actually has an idea that's 10 times better. You know, but I'm like, I'm so stoked. So I think that when it comes to positive emotions like happiness and being excited and passion, you mean well, but you still got to be level-headed. So, and on the other end of it, if you're so angry in a situation, you might not even be able to evaluate the situation to its fullest extent and look at every single detail because your anger is fueling your response. Like Ryan and I talk about it all the time. Like we have siblings, and a lot of times, like everybody with siblings knows, like some days you want to hug them, some days you want to fucking beat the shit out of them, like, you know, and vice, like they want to beat the shit out of you. But like part of the reason I wrote this agenda and this this topic and shit was because like I was pissed at like one of my family members, one of my siblings, and I was like, ah! Like I had to like the kettle, like the tea was like toot toot, coming out. You know, I looked like a fucking anime character with like my forehead pulsing and stuff, and I had to literally stop. And I was like, Jacob, no matter what you say right now, it's fueled by a negative response, and it's a rational decision making. It's gonna lead to nothing. And I just went, okay, see ya. And I just like walked into my backyard and started curling. No, but you know, but that's some negative.
See, and it's interesting too, because when you're dealing with intuition, that gets thrown in the mix too. Yeah. And sometimes it's like, okay, well, is it my gut that's telling me I should be doing this, or is it my emotion, like a rational emotion that's, you know, making me do it? So I feel like that's such a balance, like you got to find, which I still struggle with this too. Like I'm still trying to get better at that, but differentiating between like your intuition and just like an emotion. Because sometimes you got to trust your gut on certain things, but you got to know when it's real or when it's not too. So it's very interesting how that works. It's
tough too, because like in our industry or situation or whatever, like we might be at the table with someone like trying to make a deal or something, you know? Yeah. And it's like we don't have a day to think about. My response to what you were saying was like, okay, if you're trying to figure out whether it's intuition or whether it's just like an emotion, like a sudden emotion, take a day or two. And if you're still telling yourself, oh, do this,
sleep on it.
Yeah, I think that's sleep on it. And then I think if you're still going, that's intuition. That's your gut saying, hey, do it. And I think you should trust yourself. But shit, man, I know like we've probably been in situations over the years where like someone tells us something about like some marketing or a networking thing or a way to do our song, and we're like so stoked. You know? And it's like, yeah, let's jump the gun. And I think I do that more than you. Like you've probably stopped me a lot of times, like, Jacob, like, think about this, evaluate it. So as a manager, I'm glad I've like developed that trait a lot better. But yeah, I you don't want to jump the gun on something, and you don't want to lash out at someone. So there's two extremes to that, right? Like you don't want to use your sadness or your depression or your anger to what?
No, I was just gonna say, like, sometimes I feel like I definitely struggle with that because I'm so straight up. I'm such a straight up guy that like I'll say what I'm feeling, what's on my mind. Like I can't hold shit in. Yeah. So like that's really hard for me.
Yeah.
Like if I feel a certain way, like I will tell you.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? Because I hate balling up those emotions like for a week and shit, and like you just thinking about it. It's like I just rather communicate it. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is though, there's a difference between like you telling it like it is in a controllable way is just being an adult.
Well, sometimes it's not controlled. That's what I mean. Yeah.
You're like, yeah, sometimes I'm a dick.
I get you. Yeah, no, for real. Yeah.
No, but you know, it's like
I feel like I could be a dick or like the nicest guy in the room.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I could be both.
You can be a dick. You're right. Yeah. No, but I feel like I think the best thing you could do is just always be straight up to people within boundaries. Like you gotta understand social cues. Yeah. Like you can't be out at the bar and be the guy who's like causing more problems than there originally were because you're just like trying to check the situation and shit like that or whatever, you know, like, I think it pays to be straight up, dude. I think the greatest thing you could do is like from the jump in a friendship or relationship, whatever it is, like, and it's hard when you're first becoming friends with someone. There's like that 6-month period where you don't, or even couple year long period, whatever, where you don't want to be like straight up. But it's like, dude, as I get older, I've just come to realize like, look, man, if you want to have a good, like, healthy friendship or relationship or whatever, like, if someone does some shit that bugs you, you don't got to be like, that shit fucking bugs me. What's your fucking problem? But you could sit someone down and be like, hey, like, I roll this way. What you're doing doesn't really vibe with that. And I'd like for us to come to, like, you know, a mutual, like, meeting on how we can continue to be friends. Like, you know.
I feel like that gets tough when it's, like, a relationship, though. Because.
You mean like with a girl? The woman? With a what?
Yeah, because I feel like I'm bad at this too. Like when you're too straight up, like up front, like it kind of kills like that spark in a way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because I do that a lot. I'm not gonna lie. Like especially the past couple of years, like I'm so straight up with a girl that it's like it just kills that like suspense, and you need that.
Ryan doesn't even text with emojis anymore. He'll get a text from a bad Latina girl, which is his type, and then she'll be like sending emojis and stuff, and she's like, "What time do you want to go out to dinner?" And he just replies 7. No emojis, nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, there's definitely like an art to like keeping that suspense and like the courtship. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think that
instead of like I like you, let's be together.
Well, I'm not saying that like that.
I know you're not, but I do that. That's why I'm saying that sometimes.
Oh man,
yeah,
I didn't know.
Maybe not that extreme, but like I will. I don't know.
Every time we're hanging out with like some females, I don't notice that.
Well, it's like if I'm talking to a girl that
okay, yeah. Hey man, that's your thing. You conduct business how you want. You know, it's conduct it. He just casually sips the hydro flask. He's like, yeah. Well, I just going back to it. I think the best thing that I've like the best trait that I've adopted is being straight up with a little salt-based sprinkle, with a little bit of salt-based sprinkle of like some understanding of the like vibe of the situation. Mm-hmm. Like I'm like I've developed into the guy who's 85% like straight up, but like if I'm in a group with like 7 other people and someone does something that I don't like, I'm not about I'm not about to call them out. Like I'll say some shit.
Yeah.
I've done that before, like at parties and stuff or whatever. I'll be like, yo, dude, like are you out of, like what are you doing? You know, but not like in a douchey way. Like I'll tell someone like, hey man, like whatever, you know?
We good? Yeah.
Because by the way, like I'm 5'7", I don't want to get my ass kicked. But you know, but I think that that's crucial. Like having like the majority of your way you conduct with others, like be straight up, dude. Mm-hmm. Like I'm even like that with my family. Like I'm a yes, no, whatever. And with friends, even with people I meet, I don't know. I don't want to say I've gotten more like guarded as I've gotten older, but I think my tolerance for bullshit is just way low. Yeah. Way low. Like if I meet like 5 years ago in high school, if I met some fool who like was annoying, but we were all kicking it or whatever, like I probably like wouldn't say some shit or whatever. But now it's just like if someone's being a fucking clown, like I'll just be like, you're a clown, and I'll leave.
Yeah, like I feel like, I don't know if it's like this for you too now. I feel like it is, but like I feel like I've definitely got more sensitive to the things that hold me back, the little things.
That's a good way to put it.
I've like I can feel right away like, okay, if I continue with this, it's gonna keep holding me back because it's held me back for a long time in the past. I know that feeling. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, exactly.
No, that's a great way to put it. Yeah. That's a great way to put it. Is like when I say my tolerance for bullshit has gotten lower, I mean my tolerance for things that hold me back. You know what I'm saying? And
the little shit too.
Yeah, and some people who I think are just like normies, like normal ass people who probably are never going to level up because they have the mentality of like, you're taking this too seriously. Mm-hmm. Like, why are you taking it so seriously?
You're trying too hard.
You're trying too hard. Yeah, exactly. Like what let me clarify. The little things like a person's energy, a person's vibe, the way we joke around, the way we treat each other, the way that like we can sense like real, like genuine, like love or whatever it is like between each other. That stuff is all like so important to me because like you said, like those are the little characteristics and things that as time goes on will eventually hold you back. Mm-hmm. It's the little shit talking here and there. It's the little lack of work ethic here and there in that other person or whatever it is. Like, so when I meet like new people and stuff, I'm evaluating all these different parameters. And some people would say, hey man, why are you taking it so seriously, bro? Why can't you just live? Like that must be a shitty ass life to have to evaluate people and whatever. You must be so egotistical. Why are you judging other people? But it's like, look, dude, I think, and I was talking to my mom about this today, and in life, you got to have a healthy level of selfishness. Because if you aren't selfish to the extent that you can achieve a level to where you're providing yourself with everything that you need to operate at your best level, you're never going to be able to help others. If I'm not selfish enough, quote unquote selfish enough, to not hang out with my friends for a couple months and grind and save up cash and get physically fit, whatever. If I'm not in the state that I want to be, that I know is like how I want to be, I'm never going to have the energy or maybe the financial resources or whatever it is to help others.
Or the vibe.
Exactly. Or the vibe or the confidence or the energy. And that's one thing. Like, I think for years, like, I always wanted to be more physically fit. Like, I've always wanted to be more buff. Like, and I always felt like, oh, my homies hit me up to go to the skate park, like, whatever. And my homies hit me up to go out and drink and do this. But the reality is, like, and they talk shit to me for, like, you know, not any specific people, but I'm just saying, like, in general. But, like, some people would talk shit, like, dude, just skip the gym or whatever it is. Yeah. Or why are you spending so much time working on your music manager shit? Like, I had a homie tell me one time, I was like, hey, I'm working right now. Let me call you back. And then I called them back and they were like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm location scouting for a music video. I think it was for the Rose video or something. And they were like, that's not work. Dude, my asshole tightened up so fucking tight, and I literally had, like, squeezed the phone. I almost drove to them and been like, this ain't fucking work.
Yeah.
This ain't fucking work. What, because I'm not getting paid? Because I'm out here taking a risk like 99.99% of motherfuckers won't do? All right, I'm just going on a rant now. But I think there does need to be a healthy level of selfishness in your life to put yourself at the level to where you can help others. Like, if I don't feel good physically every day and I don't work out, if I don't go out and get money, if I don't go out and accomplish all these things I have set for myself, I'm never going to be truly happy, truly fulfilled to the point where I'm like, now I want to help others.
Yeah.
You know?
And I've realized the people who are selfish in that regard, in a good way, they never criticize you in that way. The only people that say that kind of shit are the people who rely on other people to hang out with them in order for them to feel good and, like, for them to feel like their day is complete.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a successful person, like, wouldn't care that you're busy. They'd be like, okay, cool, we'll figure out a day when it works.
Yeah.
Because you saying no, like, I can't today because I'm doing this, just makes them say, oh, okay, well, then I can just work on my shit anyways.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, like, oh, well, like, he can't hang out, I want to be bored.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when you always have shit to do, regardless of, like, what happens, like, I feel like that's, like, just how successful people manage their time, you know?
And that's why, I mean, I think it's important to, like, revolve your life around a goal.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
a desire.
A desire. Yeah. And that doesn't mean that you can't have multiple life goals. Like, one of my life goals, and the life goal right now, is to become a wildly successful music manager and have Ryan be a millionaire and me be a millionaire, and we, like, achieve our music industry success, okay? That doesn't mean that when I'm 45, I can't say, hell yeah, dude, I achieved that. Now I want to be an artist. I'm going to start a band, and within the next 10 years, I want to be playing in front of crowds who are, 5,000 people, 10,000 people, whatever. Then when I'm 60, I could say, you know what? I want to start a venture capitalist fund with my buddy who's good at finance. Like, you can have multiple life goals, but I feel like so many people, like, forget that, and they can't even, like, choose, and they get this decision fatigue, and then they just never accomplish shit that they wanted to do.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Man.
I feel like sometimes, too, like, you gotta get successful at one thing in order to do, like, a bunch of other things too.
Exactly.
You know?
Like, if I don't go make a shitload of dough in one area, like, I'm not going to have dough to spend in other areas.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
It's like if I don't get, like, financially stable here, how do I expect to have, like, capital to start this other business or this or that or whatever? Man, I think that you should choose something and just go all in on it.
Yeah.
Go and achieve that goal. And if it's a 5-year goal, cool. If it's a 1-year goal, cool. If it's a lifetime goal, cool. But understand that, like, everything you want to achieve is possible. And once you achieve it, it's like Shaq. Like, Shaq was, like, a dominant NBA player, right? And then he went off, and this dude's net worth is, like, it's like hundreds of millions. Now he owns, like, 50 Taco Bells. He got his PhD in education. Like,
he raps now. Everything.
Yeah. or Kobe. Was it Kobe that said, I'm pretty sure it was him, he said once he, like, retired, he was like, if the next 20 years aren't better than the last 20, I've failed.
Oh, yeah. I think he was trying to get into, like, acting and stuff.
Yeah. And it's like, I just think that's dope because, like, he set that one goal, became the best of the best, achieved it, and now he's like, he's not limiting himself. He's like, I could do whatever I want. And anyone can do that.
Dude, and I think setting goals like that and chasing something is like happiness.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you could look at it in a bad light and be like, oh, like, I don't have it. And, like, I'm far away from it. But I don't know. Like, I've realized you can look at that in a perspective of, like, oh, like, I'm shooting for something. Like, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Like, that's exciting, you know? And, like, to look back at yourself a couple years before that and being like, oh, I was way down here and now I'm up here and, like, I'm still reaching for it, like that's an exciting feeling because you're always looking forward to something in your life instead of just like, oh, it's just gonna be another year next year. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
you're just meandering, kind of living.
Yeah, like now you're thinking like, okay, next year, what if all this cool shit happens? Mm-hmm. Or what if something happens that I would have never like even imagined could happen? You know,
it gives your life meaning.
Exactly. Yeah,
it gives your life meaning, dude. Oh man, let's see. Got off the rails a little bit there, but we went in a little bit.
Yeah,
we went in a little bit, brother. Hey, do you listen to Lil Wayne?
Soldier Boy?
Do you listen to Ty Dollar Sign?
Tiger?
I always tell Ryan I'm like that nerdy looking like white guy in the music industry who like walks into the studio with like all the rappers and shit. They're all smoking. I'm like, Ty Dollar Sign? I am a huge fan. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Tory Lanez?
Tory Lanez?
Do you listen to Tory Lanez? That was funny. Yeah, man. I think that to get back on track now more than ever, it's important to control your emotions. And everybody our age, like I'm talking to you guys, and by the way, like Ryan and I always say this, we're not perfect. Like I just, I kind of went off the other day, like on one of my family members. Like I have to force myself to like control my anger. I have to force myself to control like my happiness and passion, because sometimes I bring an idea to the table that like Sticks and Ryan are like, hold on, dude. Like look at it like this, and I'm like, damn, I was so overcome by like my enthusiasm that I didn't even realize there's like a better way to do it.
I feel it. I still struggle with that a lot too.
Yeah. But look, I'm gonna lay it out on the table. Politics, guys. Politics. Listen, look, Trump, Joe Biden, all that shit, fuck it. Put it aside right now. As an adult, as people trying to be successful, because that's who our audience is. I'm assuming if you're a person listening to this, you want to better yourself in some way. I'm telling you, I know how frustrating it is, guys. Mm-hmm. Whatever side you're on, and I can relate to people who don't have a side, who are like, no, fuck both of these people, whatever it is. You can even get frustrated being on no side. Mm-hmm. Wherever you're out on the spectrum or whatever you think, guys, I'm telling you, Twitter will piss you off. Yeah. Instagram will piss you off. All the supporters of everybody, whatever it is, are going to piss you off. Dude, if you can control your emotions on the level of a political discussion, that's like the ultimate emotional discipline. Then you've achieved it, okay? I'm being honest, because I can tell you guys, I know how frustrating that stuff is. Mm-hmm. And if you're having a problem controlling your emotions, number one, I think that just to talk about politics and all that stuff, there is so much bullshit perpetuated on social media. Yeah. I think the first step is like delete social media. I don't know if I told you this, but I muted everybody on Instagram. Muted them, including you.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I muted everybody.
Oh, so you have to like search people to like see posts?
I have to search people to see their posts. I keep up with like 5 people. You obviously, and a couple like outlets like Neiman and Eric. Like I go on their stuff.
Is there a button to do it for everybody, or you had to go to manually?
I had to manually mute every single person.
I went
and manually muted 650 people. Yep.
Wow.
Coworkers, friends, mom and dad, brother, everybody. Yeah. Everybody, because I was just being flooded with all this stuff that just drove these emotions that I couldn't control. And now I still open Instagram every day, like the Twitch, I get it or whatever. Deleted the Snapchat app. I rarely go on Twitter anyways. I kind of go on TikTok now, but the only thing I use Instagram for nowadays is literally like DMing like people in the industry, like networking and shit. DMing the playlist curators, all that stuff.
Crazy, dude.
Yeah, and okay, let's get back to the conversation. But yeah, I mean, I'm telling you guys, I get it. Sometimes you're on Instagram and oh my god, you see some shit that drives you up a wall, and you or you're arguing with XDXXX whatever on fucking YouTube comments. Some guy who's like
no profile pic.
Yeah, no profile pic, and you're arguing with this random mother effer in the comments on YouTube or Instagram or whatever it is. But I'm telling you guys, I think the first step forward, because I like this practical stuff, is if you notice that you're being adversely affected on an emotional level through social media, delete it. Mute everybody. Don't feel bad about it. I don't reply to DMs occasionally because I like need a minute to just process. I'll come back a couple days later and reply to it, whatever. But dude, as like young people or millennials or whatever, like Gen Zers were dominating social media and all that, dude, if like, I think the first step to emotional discipline and controlling yourself is like, put that shit aside for a minute.
Dude, I was going to say, I think like, dude, I would even say like 85 to 90%, at least for me, of like emotion that's created in my day is because of my phone.
Yeah.
Social media and everything.
Yeah.
Phone, everything.
Yeah.
YouTube. I would say YouTube.
Yeah.
I think like, bro, the times that I literally wake up and I'm like, I'm not looking at my phone, anything on my phone.
Yeah.
Like, not just social media, everything. I'm putting my phone to the side until I read, meditate a little bit, do a couple of vocal exercises, whatever it is. And it's like 11 a.m. and I still haven't seen my phone. Like, those are the best days because I set the tone for my day and my emotions are just like neutral. I'm just like the earth is still, bro. Like, when I put my phone away, the world just feels so quiet and just like nice and just like manageable.
And you
know what I'm
feel
saying?
you feel like you're not really missing out.
Exactly.
After a while, you're kind of like, wow. Like I went on a camping trip with Nico and Abdullah like a month ago. I think I told you.
Yeah.
And like right when we pulled into the forest, we went to Sequoia. It was fucking sick. Like my phone didn't work, and I was like, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. And I checked it like 3 times, and then I was like, wow. And that's why I love camping.
Yeah.
Because there's always, and I can get it like when you're a city boy. No, like when you're in the city and stuff, or like when you're not traveling or whatever, or when you have service, like, and you're at home, there's nothing to do. Like that's why I love camping. There's always something to do. Like there's always a dish to clean. There's always wood to chop. There's always, you know, like something to organize. There's always a trail to hike on. There's always something to do. So like when we got out there, my phone didn't work. I was like, yes, threw it in the car. And then like 8 hours later, we're cooking up some bomb dinner. The sun's going down. We're all bundled up next to the fire. And I was like, dude, I just didn't check my phone for 8 hours. I feel phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I felt phenomenal.
Like
dude.
you feel like weightless kind of.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, man. Ladies and gentlemen, practical steps for combating emotional decision making and controlling your emotions. Here we go. Whenever you feel an intense emotion, mostly a negative emotion, but remember, huge extreme enthusiasm, all that stuff, that can still adversely affect you. So when you're feeling an intense emotion, understand first off, it's okay to feel what you're feeling. Like if you feel stoked on something, don't let any motherfucker tell you, why are you so stoked? Like, well, calm down, dude, whatever. Don't ever let anyone trifle on your emotions, okay? Ever. Understand it's okay to feel what you are feeling. And if someone says something that angers the crap out of you or makes you sad or whatever it is, understand this. All people feel that emotion too.
Yeah.
All people have felt that emotion that Ryan felt when he was crying on the floor of this RV. All people felt that emotion a couple weeks ago when I was dealing with some really bad personal stuff, and I felt like I had no one to talk to, and I just wanted to cry. Everybody has felt something like that, okay? It's what makes you human.
Also, I think feeling those things is good because you're kind of strengthening yourself, your overall self.
Yes.
And like your mental toughness is going up. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't handle certain things I can handle now 3 years ago. But because I went through like it was hard and like I really battled with my emotions and stuff like that. Now like it's not not easy now, but it's just easier
because
than it was. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
no, I agree, man. I agree. And so that's the first step. When you feel an intense emotion, it's okay. All right. It's all right to be sad. It's okay to be happy. It's okay to be angry. There's been some stuff, music industry stuff that Ryan and I have dealt with that has just pissed me off. Like on a business level, like just, God. But it's okay to feel that.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure Scooter Braun has felt pissed, sad, happy, Justin, all them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's okay. Before you respond to something, before you respond to anything, this is mainly out of anger, and I'll tell you guys from experience. I had a problem, I think, for a long time with like my anger, but I think a lot of guys do just because we're like filled with testosterone, and I think men just compete with each other naturally, like culturally in America. I can't speak for other societies and shit, but you know, before you respond to someone, if you're having a negative emotion, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Don't say a word. And I will tell you guys this from experience because like Ryan and I said, like we're the type of guys who will tell someone something. Like if someone's doing some shit that I think, like if I think you're acting like a clown or whatever, I'm going to be like, hey man, like I'm not going to be like, what's your problem? Because like I said, you know, I'm not trying to get in a fight with anybody, but I express my emotions to people. I'm not afraid to tell people, hey, I don't like what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you from experience, if you're ever feeling an intense negative emotion, shut your mouth. take a deep breath, shut out everyone else in the room, and think. And if someone's about to square up with you and they say some bullshit to you or whatever, take 2 seconds and just and think for a second, like, am I going to swing on this guy? Should I run away? Is this worth it? Whatever it is. Or if you're just in an argument, whatever it is, guys, shut up, take a deep breath, and think. Now, this leads me to my next point. We could probably go off on a tangent all about this. Listen more than you speak.
Yeah.
I think controlling your emotions a lot of times really just comes down to listening more than you speak. And that's like probably one of the best traits that I've like adopted as an adult, and like trying and becoming a professional in the music industry is like, because you're going to come up with all these things and get excited or mad or whatever it is, and you want to lash out and say something or be stoked and say something. When you listen more than you speak, number one, I think people respect you for that because you're allowing them to speak first. And two, you're educating yourself. You're listening to other people's ideas, and I think it just makes you more open-minded.
And people like you when you listen to them.
Yes.
You know, because everyone wants to talk about themselves, and you know, but once someone stops and listen, like if I stopped and listened to you this whole time and I didn't know you, you'd be like, I kind of like this guy. Like he's interested in what I have to say about myself. And that makes me like him. So that on top of it is like another bonus.
Guys, for the gentlemen, anytime you go on a date, just shut up.
Bro, that's why whenever I had a girlfriend or something, I was always good with the parents. Because I just asked them questions. I'm like, you know, where'd you get this antique? Like, I'm interested.
Yeah.
And then they would just go off for like 10 minutes and I'm just shut up and listen. Oh, that's cool. Like, how did this happen?
Yeah.
And like, I just noticed they started to like that. Like, oh, like he's interested in like my life and me.
Yeah.
It just like I just would shut up and listen. But I also thought too, like it's kind of ironic that we're talking about this. Like even the one of the episodes was like talk less, do more. Because I'm sure people are like, oh, we were talking this whole time on the podcast or whatever. But we're on a platform and we're speaking on the subject. So that's why. Like I'm not out here like telling everyone what to do and like you know what I'm saying.
We're just sharing ideas.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. This is the platform. So I had to say that.
Who the fuck would say that to us? I mean, sorry. Okay, anywho. But yeah, so that was my last point. Guys, Ryan and I screwed up and we don't got any book quotes right now. So, do. I really need to get that soundboard.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get
tapestry.
it. And the tapestry, yes. Okay, I'm gonna write that down. Hook up the samples. It'll take me like 20 minutes. We are gonna do rapid fire questions. Fun. Hello, everyone. You're listening to Inside the RV with Jacob Moore and Ryan Ramirez. We're doing rapid fire questions. I'm going to ask Ryan 10 questions back to back to back to back, and he's just going to answer them off top. Ready?
Okay, I need you to ask me in a 50s voice, though.
I'm sitting here with my guy Ryan, hey? Now, here's the deal, bud. You better sit down, look good, and you better answer these questions, hey? Everybody in the 50s was like, what's the big idea, hey?
Get a load of this guy.
Get a load of this guy, huh? Okay. If you could buy any type of food right now, what would you buy? Go. Pizza. What color is your toothbrush?
Blue,
okay. If you could be any animal, what would it be and why?
A dog.
A dog, yeah. I feel like there was always that kid in like elementary school or whatever would be like, if I could be any animal, I'd be a liger.
I was literally thinking...
Do you know what a freaking liger is?
That was the first thing that came to my head. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I'm not gonna say that.
Literally, like 6 dudes popped into my head who have walked up to us. Do you know what a tiger is? It's a tiger and a lion. Who's your favorite superhero and why?
Superhero, Superman. Because he's literally unbeatable. Like he just OP, overpowered.
Well, Kryptonite.
Well, that's the one exception.
Okay.
Every other bad guy.
Who do you admire most?
You.
Ryan. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Dude, thanks, bro. Wow. Thank you, man. Holy crap.
A podcast exclusive.
Guys.
Go ahead.
Tear it up, man. Appreciate that. What is your favorite summer activity?
Making records.
Hey, my boy, yeah. If a movie was made of your life, what genre would it be and who would play you?
Genre like a music genre? Or like a movie genre?
Like a movie genre.
Okay.
Like, is it a noir film from the 50s where everything's in black and white and jazz?
I feel like it would be like a drama. like intense and just like suspense and shit like that. I don't know. I feel like my life is more serious nowadays. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would say drama.
Who would play you? Matthew McConaughey or?
I think we got a lot of lawbreakers.
We got a lot of lawbreakers.
Play me. My little brother.
Cade? That's true. He's gonna look like you, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it would make sense. You know what I mean?
He's gonna look like you. If you could be any flavor of ice cream, what flavor would you be and why?
Cookies and cream. Because it's bomb.
Oh, okay, nice. Who's your favorite cartoon character? Why?
Cartman. No, I'm just kidding.
Eric Cartman.
Nah. Cartoon character. I can't even think of anything right now. Danny Phantom.
Why was Danny
He was
Phantom
lit.
the hardest?
No. I got it. What's his name? Johnny Bravo.
Hey, brother, mama.
He's like,
hey, he looked good. He was picking up. He was
alpha.
Yeah. That fool was an alpha. Hey, brother, mama. He was on it, dude. Johnny Bravo. That's the boy. All right.
That was it?
Yeah, here's
Okay.
all right, go.
That was kind of hard.
Johnny Bravo, that's fucking funny, dude.
Okay, ready?
Yes, sir.
If you can go anywhere in the world, where would you go and why?
Ireland, because the first ancestor of mine that came to America in the 1700s was a guy named Matthew Moore, and he came from Ireland.
Wow.
Yep.
Eminem. Was that because did you find that out like on Ancestry.com?
Yeah, my dad told me. He
Okay.
did like a DNA test for my grandpa because my dad's side of the family is European, Western European, and my mom's side of the family is a mixture of Filipino and Puerto Rican.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Gotcha. What is your dream job?
Be a music manager. Because from being a music manager, I can do everything else I want to do.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
Are you a morning or night person?
Oh, I'm a night
I
owl.
know.
Dude. Ryan already knows. Like, I'm the guy that'll wake up at 1 a.m. and work till 6 a.m. I'll wake up at 1 p.m. and work till 6 a.m. the
Yeah.
next day, you know? But I feel better when I wake up in the mornings. Okay, go ahead.
For sure. What is your favorite hobby?
Playing guitar.
What is one thing that annoys you the most?
Wow. I'm going down a spreadsheet with 5,000 fucking cells in my head right now. No, I'm just kidding. One thing that annoys me, there isn't really, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, when people don't wrap up cables correctly, like if you're
yeah.
at a jam session or if you're like on tour or something.
Yeah.
I'm huge on cable management. I like on Ryan's school tour, like he would always be like, "You want me to wrap this up?" I'd be like, "Hey, you go ahead and put the speakers away. Like I'll wrap up all the cables."
Yeah.
That's not a thing where like I hate you, but it's like, hey, cables are expensive, you know.
And my shape wouldn't even be like that bad, but just not perft.
Yeah,
And so
no,
he's
it's
like,
got
"All right,
it.
let me
No,
do it."
I looked up the proper way to roll up like a
Yeah.
TRS cable and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What is the strangest thing you've ever eaten?
I had some ostrich jerky like years ago. It wasn't even that bad. God, what's another thing? Nah, that's probably it. Yeah, I'm white. I don't.
What is your favorite thing about someone in your family?
My dad works. He works. That guy works. He
That's
is the type of guy who says, "We need to get something done. Let's do it."
Yeah.
Doesn't ask questions. He just, okay, cool. Let's get it done. Yeah.
That's awesome. What is one of your weird quirks?
If I'm with like 3 different girls and I bend over, no, I'm just kidding. One of my, what's a quirk? Just a weird thing.
A quirk, like a weird thing you do.
I like to watch chiropractor videos. I love like late at night in bed when like the double chin's going and I'm just looking at my phone and my Chinese FBI agent from TikTok is watching me through the lens of my camera. Like I just love to watch videos of like, okay, go ahead and deep breath. Fucking chiropractor videos, yeah.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
Motivated to win.
Wow. That was like a sentence. I thought you were going to say like, never mind.
I actually did that at a job interview.
You did?
Yeah. I think in the interview to become a building manager at the rec center, they said describe yourself in 3 words, and I was like, I said something like that, like motivated to win, or I said like Yeah, it was something
like it
along the
wasn't
lines of-
3 traits. It was like a like a phrase.
Yeah, and they were like, oh.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, and I was like, yeah, I'm a bit of a lyricist, you know what I'm saying?
You're like I'm hardworking.
Yeah. They were like, that's 4, and I went, no, hard dash working.
If you could trade lives with anyone for a day, who would it be and why?
Probably John Mayer, because that dude can rip a guitar.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, that's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do 10 more. I'm just kidding.
Dude, I like doing these.
This
Let's
is
do a
fun.
couple more. You want to do? I got a couple
All right.
more right here. All right, rapid fire. We're doing 5 more, everybody. 5 more.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. This is actually for musicians.
Oh.
This is specifically for musicians.
Okay.
These aren't like rapid fire. I'll do some rapid fire ones. Okay. What is the most useless talent you have?
I can raise one eyebrow. Oh, is that the music
Are
related?
you up to something? No, it's just
Okay,
whatever.
okay.
Okay. Do you sing in the shower? What songs? What's the go-to?
I sing. This sounds so dumb, but I literally sing like the last song I made.
That's dope.
Okay.
That's dope. What would you be doing right now if music wasn't your career? Working at Target.
I would be. Oh my gosh. Dude, I have no idea. Target, I'll say. I don't know.
If you could change one thing about the industry, what would it be?
The exclusivity of it, or like the smoke and mirrors of it.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. I get what you're saying.
But at the same time, like that's what makes a fan. I think
Yes.
like that smoke and mirrors aspect to it makes it like unreachable to like a fan. I don't know how to explain it. But to like
yes.
someone who's coming up, I think it's better. Like I would rather have like less of that and less exclusivity because I want to learn and I want to excel. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think it's good to discover that on your own, though. Like
Okay.
you and I pulled that curtain back like
Okay.
on our own, and I think that's an integral part of development.
Okay.
Is like we have finally gotten to the point where we've like blown away the smoke and mirrors and all that, and we understand how the industry works to an extent. We're always learning. you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
But I think that's an integral part of it.
Gotcha.
Who inspired you to make music?
I got 2. Michael Jackson was like the first artist that I just like inspired me as a kid, and then my dad,
Hell yeah, bro.
just like going to all his gigs and stuff with his bands.
Hell yeah. My dad too.
Okay, yeah,
That's
so-
dope. Dude, we're very similar. I don't know if anyone ever knew this. Like, Ryan's dad is a drummer, and like Ryan has always had music in his house, like always been a musician. My dad's a guitarist. I've
Yeah.
always had like a band room
Yeah.
or an acoustic guitar in every room of my house, like always. And so we met, lived like 5 minutes from each other. Ryan and I have been playing in bands. Like we played in bands in with
Elementary
Ronnie in
school.
elementary school, with Adrian and Shay in middle school, and like we've been doing music our whole lives, which is pretty dope.
You would always go to like my dad's gigs with me too,
Yep.
stuff like that.
Yep. Like, dude, literally the garage 20 feet from us right here, Ryan and I used to play in like daily. Like he had a drum set. I brought my guitar over and we would jam.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah,
And we
dude.
sucked, but
Yeah.
but the passion was there.
The fire was there. All right, hit me 5 quick.
Any of them?
Yes, sir.
What is your favorite joke?
Oh, God. My favorite joke. I have so many. Like, I don't have like a favorite joke. I just make stupid ones up like on the fly, kind
What's
of.
like the first one that you think of?
Why is your refrigerator running? Well, you better go catch it. Like,
How'd you pick that?
like I just that's the
I
that
never heard you say that.
that's the ultimate joke. No, my favorite joke is when Ryan and I pull up to a party and we're just meeting people and people are like, "Hey Ryan, did you go to Cal State Fullerton?" He's like, "No, I didn't." I'm like, "Yeah, but he went to the parties." It's like he got to party, but he didn't even pay tuition. And like that's
No, the one I'm thinking of that I thought you were gonna say was what's that place in Vegas? The sandwich place.
that's not a joke. That's an impersonation. That's just me being dumb.
I thought you were gonna say one of those. I
right.
am the heirloom sandwich. What do you say?
I don't know.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
there were too many Dos Equis.
Okay, that was one.
All right.
What would you do with your 15 minutes of fame? Like if you were if you weren't trying to get fame, you know what I'm saying?
My 15 minutes of fame, I would use it to establish my legitimacy or some sort of skill set that others would see value in so I could continue to make money and be famous.
Okay.
So I would showcase like a certain set of skills, or I would give like a great sales pitch in my 15 minutes of fame, or I would show people that I'm really valuable so that people would invest in me and I can continue to stay famous.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the meanest thing you've ever said to someone?
The meanest thing I ever said to someone, all right, guys, it's going to get like really explicit. I feel like mean is different than just like cussing. I don't know. I've told people.
I'm thinking like something like petty, like some getting like under their skin type shit. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I told my sister one time that she's like, I just talked a bunch of shit like one time, like stuff that didn't even mean anything. I was just like, "Fuck you."
It was like a personal.
You're a piece of shit. It wasn't even that personal, you know.
Okay.
But like, yeah, shit like that.
Okay, that was the third one.
Okay.
What compliment does people give you the most?
God, well, let me look through my list. They probably say that I'm real humble, you know. I'm totally fucking with you, bro. The best, the most compliment that people give me, I don't know. That I'm hardworking.
Okay.
I have people tell me like, "Wow, dude, you're really hardworking," which I'm thankful for.
I think the one I hear most about you is like you're like super personable.
Oh,
like you're like a chameleon. You know what I'm saying? Like with
I'm adapting. He's
with
evolving.
People, you know what I'm
a
saying?
chameleon, yeah.
Okay, last one.
All right, hit it.
This is a hard one.
All right.
What is your favorite pet's name?
My favorite pet's name, Misty.
Aw.
I'll straight up say it. I had a dog growing up. Her name was Maxie. She was great. She died a couple years ago. I had 2 boxers. One of them, Rocky, he passed away. And then Misty, I just got so close to her like over the last 2 years after Rocky died because they were biological brother and sister.
Yeah.
And the day he died, they were outside dogs. And immediately, like, we came home from the vet. We brought her to the vet, too, after they had to, like, you know, take him away and everything. And that night, she slept in my room. And she slept in my room every night since then for 2 years straight.
Wow.
Yeah, and she's like that's my girl. Everybody knows who follows me on Instagram. Like, I have like an emotional bond with that dog because she's helped me through a lot of shit. Like my grandpa passing away, like she was there. Like Rocky passed away, my other dog, she was there. And like I take care of her. Like I feed her in the mornings. I let her out to pee. She wakes me up in the morning like wiggling. Like that's my girl.
That's dope.
So
You're her rock.
I'm her rock. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to Inside the RV, episode 15. Reach out to us. Ryan's Instagram is Ryan Ramirez official. Mine is JACXB Moore, Moore. And business inquiries, whatever, Jacob at densitymgmt.com. We're trying to work, baby. We're trying to come out on top. Sneak peek, by the way, Ryan is releasing the lead single to his next EP. I'm going to just say it. Can I say the name of it?
Go ahead.
It's called Just Kiss. It's a fire song. He sent me the final master yesterday. It's fucking phenomenal.
Dope.
And he'll be releasing Double R Part 2 next month. We haven't announced any of this. I'm currently in the process of sending it to like blogs and all these people, playlisting. Ryan is continuing to refine the master on like the other tracks, getting the artwork done. Like, yeah, it's going to be pretty insane. So for everybody listening, we got loads of new music coming.
Get ready.
Peace out.
For you and for I'm trying to decide from the look in your eyes, yeah. I mean besides, but your feelings inside you. I'm messing up my mind and my spirit, babe.